you gone to Alcatraz, or is it just a thing that's why you don't want to go?
No, but I've never been.
Okay.
But I see it, and it's like, that looks like a trap.
But how long could the tour be?
People wanted to escape there. People would die trying to leave there. I'm not going to get on a boat and just head over there and visit it.
That's what I'm afraid of, that some crazy or some loon, something's going to happen, and they're going to just activate prison mode again, and you're not going to get out. Like, it's like...
The joke's on you, Brandon.
Get
this
into
is
this
a fully operational
Don't worry,
prison.
we're holding up the giant bar that'll slice your head off, but come on in.
Do you think it's The Rock or something? This isn't a Michael Bay movie. You're going to be fine. It lasts like an hour and a half.
Everybody thinks they're going to be fine until they're not fine.
Oh, no shit, Brandon.
I know, so I'm saying, just because you think you're going to be fine doesn't mean you're going to be okay. Nobody's like, man, today I'm going to get fucked.
You're either fine or not fine.
That's every day for
I
me.
can't argue what you're saying because it's so stupid.
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
have an approach.
My whole point is that you're just trying to like lull me into this false sense of security because everybody thinks it's going to be fine every day until it's not fine.
Brandon,
but you had no way to know it was not going to be fine because for all you knew, it was going to be a fine day.
That's a new shirt. Everything's going to be fine, and on the back until it's not, with like a little
Oh my gosh.
a guy hanging or something.
You made it a lot darker than it needed to be.
That's exactly what he's saying. Is that the murder thing and the slice the head off?
Yeah.
I want to go to Alcatraz. I think it'd be a cool
Go to
place.
Alcatraz.
Me too.
Okay.
I actually haven't been.
And you used to live in San Francisco.
Yeah, I never went to Alcatraz. I was afraid that like I'd get trapped on the island and that bad thing that I didn't know was going to happen was going to happen.
I
like
thought,
Brandon said.
you'd be afraid that everything was fine until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't. Yeah. No,
I'd
but
be
it looks.
afraid of that
It's.
too.
I mean,
No, there's
I'm gonna
not.
do something right now, and I can't believe I'm doing this at work. I'm going to Pornhub, and I want to see how many categories of pornography they have.
yeah, I want to see too.
Yeah.
I'm going there for the articles. I swear.
Why am I on this podcast right now when there's VR porn of inside vaginas? This is a waste of time what I'm doing right now. I could be in a headset.
I feel like you shouldn't be saying this kind of stuff in front of me.
No, what? Oh. Yeah, probably not. But you could be in your own VR world too. We could have a nice date where
Or we could just be together.
Oh. Yeah. I guess.
Like that sex scene in Time Cop. You guys ever seen it?
No, that was Demolition Man. That's Demolition Man. It's not Time Cop. You're not sending your dick back in time.
Keep talking. I'm still counting.
Yeah.
It's the same like time period.
Demolition Man was great because like as soon as like Sylvester Stallone puts on the little whatever crown for the sexing, he's like and then he had that like weird flashback of whatever and Sandra Bullock's like trying to bone him with the
I've never seen this, so trying to
haven't?
hear you explain it is probably the best.
Demolition Man, it takes place in the far future, 2032 or something like that. Like, and so sex has been outlawed because it's too like physical sex because there's too many
As
physical
opposed
sex. I
to-
love the
as opposed to the sex that they
physical sex
develop.
here.
But physical sex is outlawed because there's diseases and stuff. So they make this sex where you put on the two people sit across from each other and they put on these little halos that transmit your thoughts to one another, and then you just have to focus and you sit across from each other and try and sex each other with your minds. And Sandra Bullock and Sylvester Stallone engage in it, but Sandra Bullock's having a great time and she's like, oh, doing this thing. But Sylvester Stallone's been frozen for 30 years and he's having a bad time. And so he's just...
Or maybe that's a really good time for him. You
Anyway,
can't decipher it.
I'm having another cup of coffee and I'll stop talking about
So,
Demolition Man.
if you had to take a guess, I counted how many categories are on Pornhub for in the straight category and in the gay category. Guess how many do you think are in each of those categories?
Well, I feel like if you just hit the categories button, it's probably about 32.
That's what I did. I just hit categories, and then there's an option there that says straight or gay, and I counted in each of them.
32 each or 32 total?
Probably, man, I would think 32 total, but I've never seen it segmented like that. So
I bet there's 200 each.
200? So 32, 200, a little bit of a difference between those two.
I'm going to guess that there's 30 categories in each, so 60.
It was 86 in straight, 26 in gay.
Come on, gays. Get up
yeah,
those categories.
Which one of those categories is like only developed within the last few years?
Excellent question.
Like they've been having
Well, there is a VR
anal
category
sex
there.
for more than the last 6 months.
I
At
can't
least
even-
the last 5 or 6
So
years.
there's a couple of these
Feel
I
like
can already
that's
tell
when
you.
it got
The first
big.
two, virtual reality and 60 frames a second. 60 frames a second.
that was probably when The Hobbit came
the
out.
NFL filming sex scenes?
Maybe.
That's too
Check out
many
the technology.
categories. I prefer meat and potatoes when it comes to the porn.
Just meat and potatoes.
Yeah, just meat and
I
potatoes.
love that they have a separate category for Euro and a separate category for Czech.
Huh.
Well, it's kind of like going back to Blockbuster back in
Listen,
the day. Is
when
like
you're
you spend
horny,
too
you
long.
can't think.
That's what I'm
Just
saying. You
wanna
spend too
click on
long like
something.
looking for something or deciding on something, and then eventually you just like get tired, give up, and go home.
You lose your boner.
I wonder if
Or
porn,
you just end up masturbating to choices. Like, oh, there's so many options in life. This is amazing.
Just
Just
reading
seeing
titles.
the word 60 frames a second.
Oh, it's like you're just like imagining it in your head.
I wonder if, as a porn actress or actor, like you said, Czech and Euro was one. Like, you could be, whatever, Australian or something, blah blah blah. Because you have a certain look, you have to be in Czech porn because you have like a little tan and like a certain nose or something, whatever. They're like, yeah, you have to be Czech porn. Like, we're not going to be able to sell you as a whatever.
As Australian, I don't even think was a
Yeah,
category.
I don't think Australian was one. But yeah, that'd be weird if you're like, no, you don't understand. I am from Italy and la la la. They're like, this is porn. You're gonna be Czech or Russian. That's sorry. Yeah.
Although Australian porn, you can't really tell if it's Australian unless they start talking.
No, you can tell because they're upside down while
Yeah.
they're fucking.
Oh,
They do really good when they go down under.
Hey,
Now, mine was
that's
better.
Gus.
And I always tell people, so a lot of fans sometimes ask, like, how do you put up with negative comments and stuff on YouTube or whatever? And I always tell them, well, we did stuff on public access when, there were no comment sections or anything like that. You aired it on public access. You had to put your phone number at the end of the video, and people would call you and go like, hey, that thing you put on Friday fucking sucked. And you're like, who is this? And they're like, just don't do
Mom?
anything like that again. And so you had to deal with real life people who would tell you either to your face or over the phone that you fucking suck. And so that was a funny element of it. But like basically this one show, you know how sometimes we have like call in or tweet us about stuff, blah, blah, blah. We had this thing where like, all right, if anyone's watching, the first person to come down to the station, this was like 9 p.m., right, when we used to go on. We said, the first person who comes down to the station with a flan dessert, we will put on air and we will give them a shout out. And so we were like, it was just kind of as a joke, and we went on with the live sketch thing or whatever. Well, anyway, we get this buzz at the door, and you remember how there was like a darkened courtyard outside of the war room that you could see out of the windows and just see like shafts of light, like little pools of light? We go to the war room and we look out the window, and there's, I kid you not, a shadowy guy in a trench coat with a flan in his hand staring at the window. And he saw us go to the window and look at him, and he just waves like that. And we go, shut down everything. We'll go out the back. Don't do any more, call outs or anything like that.
So you all were liars.
Yeah, we were absolutely. Once we saw that guy, we were liars. Yeah, we were going to bring some
Fucking
crazy.
alive liar.
Everything's great until it's not.
Until it's
it's all
not.
There was speaking of everything's okay until it's not. It was another awful story I read this morning.
Oh, do it.
is this the one you
Sure.
showed us the picture of?
Yeah,
Right before
there
the
was a
podcast?
guy in Thailand
Oh no, not.
who sat down to do his morning business, and unbeknownst to him, a python had worked its way up the toilet and bit his dick and attached itself to his dick. And it sounds like a really bad story, but it's like
But-
it's like bad in a funny way. Like, oh, ha ha ha, the guy's got a snake on his
What?
dick. But
What?
then in this article they have a photo of his bathroom after they take him to the hospital, and it's just like, it looks like a horror movie. There's blood everywhere. There's a snake that's tied up.
Wait, a tied up snake?
Yeah. Oh, that's when in the story they say that when the snake attached itself to his dick, he started screaming for his wife to bring him a rope so he could tie the snake
Oh
up.
my god.
And like choke it out?
I don't know why. If you got a snake on your dick, you're not probably thinking straight.
Did it get around the whole thing, or was it just the tip?
I think it was just the tip.
Because tip doesn't count.
What?
What?
Just tip doesn't count.
Oh, I get it.
When
Just
a
the
snake
tip?
bites
Oh,
you,
there we
everything counts. It'd be funny though,
Can we
like
put it, are we gonna see the picture?
You want to see the picture?
Yeah, I want to see the picture.
Of just the bathroom, right? Not anything else?
Yeah, the people in. People are groaning in the.
Yeah, control
Don't show
room
it for
just
too
went-
long. Just show it for like a second or two.
The control room just went, "Ah!"
looks good.
Yeah, that's Yeah, it's.
It'd be funny if you went to like some bad doctor.
Over here, there's like a handprint. I mean, it's like, oh.
Oh my god! Like, where was this?
Thailand.
Oh,
If you went to some doctor who wasn't very good and was like, all right, we fixed your penis and we removed the snake or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like when you look at it, they actually only sewed like they couldn't distinguish what was penis and what was snake. So it's like he has part like snake and part penis.
No,
So
like,
it's
that
a
would be amazing.
reptilian looking.
That would be amazing.
It's got like, or it's got like scales on it, you know, and
It's
it's
got
like,
fangs at the end of it
Yeah.
and stuff.
Or it's just the outside cover. So like whenever you get it up, like the mouth just opens and the penis comes out the mouth. Like,
oh god,
Once
like
a
the sandworm.
It's like Predator.
Once a
it's like
year,
alien.
his
Or that's what I
penis
mean.
sheds its skin once a year. That just creates a bigger penis. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Just creates a bigger penis.
Fantasy.
No, as it grows, right? Like
Yeah,
as you
it
get an
grows.
erection, like
As it grows, it sheds its skin.
See, that guy woke up that morning and he's like, "This is gonna be a good day. Everything's gonna be fine," until it wasn't.
Well, but isn't that an old like that's an old tale or whatever of either alligators or snakes coming up through the toilet?
I don't know. They did it in Porky's.
Right.
Yeah, rats also.
Well, I don't know
heard
if it's
about.
coming up from the toilet necessarily, or it was just in your house and it went into the toilet from there.
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's more plausible.
Well,
than
things
coming
can
through
come
the
up
drain.
from the toilet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, there's,
from the drain and
right, because
drain
it's mostly air back there.
Yeah.
It's really just like water at the very end, where what you see, and then it's held up because there's just a bunch of air back there. And
Yeah.
it's
But
like,
I'm saying like both are plausible
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like an old wives' tale.
Well, I know bugs, like my apartment, come up through the drains all the time.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to tell you, but
Why haven't you told me this?
because I just didn't want you to know.
What
But,
kind of
hey,
bugs?
surprise!
Great, never coming over.
Well, it's an
again.
old building.
Are you
and-
gonna? Oh, sorry.
No, that's all I had to say.
I've got like a couple of security cameras in my home that and what the other day at night, in the middle of the night, like there's motion, it sends you an alert. So like I woke up one morning and I looked and it was like, huh, there was motion at 4 a.m. That's really weird. And they've got like night vision, so you can see, you know, grayscale and kind of see what's going on. It's like, what happened at 4 a.m.? And I click on it and I'm watching. And then all of a sudden, like, this giant bug flies right at the camera. Like, oh! It was like terrifying. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Is that still downstairs? And like the whole day I was freaked out, like lifting everything, like looking like, where is it?
Is it in like fast motion too? Because like it doesn't, your surveillance system records in like every other second or whatever.
So it's like over there.
No,
and
it's
on the other side
it's
of
got
the
a pretty good frame rate, but it was just moving so fast. I mean, it was shocking.
I am terrified of bugs. It is probably the worst place to live in Austin, being terrified of bugs, because there are some weird looking shit here.
Back at our office in Ralph down south, you know, the office we were in before this one, the alarm there would just always go off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but like every day it was a different reason. And there was one day went off at like 3 a.m, and I remember Gus got in and he like logged into our security footage, and you couldn't figure out what had happened, and you were just sitting there just watching it like frame by frame by frame, and you eventually just saw like a rat just like run by like one of like the shelves.
It was like
and then
on
we
the-
realized we had like a giant rat infestation.
We had no idea.
Was it 636, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, 636.
That's your house?
Yeah.
Oh, is this the footage?
Oh,
Oh my god!
That looked like a bat. That didn't look like a bug.
It's pretty, yeah. That's why I was terrified. Like
a
I think I almost
shooting
dropped my
star.
phone. I was looking at him. I was like, "Whoa."
It could. That's not a moth, is it? It looks like a moth.
I don't know. Like I frame by frame analyze this shit. It looks yeah. I don't know.
We
I don't think it's a moth.
we were shooting some stuff out.
I have a really bad story, which I think I've like briefly told on the podcast before.
Go on.
So I used to have a betta fish in college.
What's a betta fish?
It's also known as like a samurai fighting fish, I think. They can't live with another fish because they'll fight each other until one of them kills each other,
Awesome.
basically. So like you could do things like put a mirror in the bowl and it'll fight the mirror. It's really crazy. Anyways, I thought mine had died because it was upside down and it wasn't moving. And so I went to take it out, and so I scooped it out with just like, I think I used a spoon because I was like, oh, it's dead. And when I started to lift it out of the water, it started thrashing around and fell out. So obviously it was still alive. But I have like a thing with fish where I don't want to touch it. Also, like I didn't know like if this thing was gonna like start thrashing around and like hurt me
Why would you
somehow.
own a fish if you have some kind of like
Because I thought it looked cool.
Is that the fish, Barbara?
Yeah. It actually looked like that. It was that in like pink, blue and pink.
That's
and
like
so
the least intimidating fish I've ever seen.
So it fell on the floor and was thrashing around on the floor, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this fish. So I just put a container over it in hopes that it would just like die. over the
Barbara!
course of the day, and then I left my apartment. And I
my
came back
God.
that night, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like scoop it up. It was still alive. Like 12 hours later.
What'd you do with it?
I just left it
Did
there
you torture
longer.
it more?
No,
No.
I just left it there.
That's awful,
horrible.
Barbara.
That's how serial killers get
That's
their
how
start.
serial killers start. What
Scared.
else have you been killing? Maybe the little cat that makes too much purring meow noises. You put the little jar on it and leave it there for a few days.
Maybe if I think it's dead originally and it's not.
Fuck you for being alive.
That's the
How
saddest
did you
thing
get
ever.
it in the first place?
I brought it in a little baggie.
You couldn't get like a bag to scoop it up?
I didn't want to touch it.
Oh my god.
Ruined my day. You just ruined my day.
See, that fish thought his day was gonna be fine.
He was taking a nap.
Yeah.
Upside down.
The next thing he knows,
Yeah.
he's on the floor,
And
covered.
he's like, let's there. And then he sees you. He's like, oh, thank God. My owner sees me. She will protect me.
Beautiful blonde woman.
But then I
God.
picked it up the next day because I was like, all right, it's definitely dead by now. And so I like did the thing where you put the paper underneath and you scoop it up. And I put it in the toilet to flush it. Still alive.
You're not afraid it's going to find you?
I check that toilet every
Do
day.
you check your toilet every day?
Like here in Austin.
Yeah. I would.
I hope that.
It's been swimming
Yeah.
across.
I hope
Maybe
that-
that snake we saw earlier was a guy's former pet snake.
Maybe.
Like, left it there to
Followed
die.
him.
I just hope that fish is swimming somewhere in the ocean right now. And it's like 8 feet long, and it's waiting for you to go in like the Atlantic or
It's,
something.
would
it
you
just
say
takes a
this?
picture of you, and it's like
It's
practicing.
swimming around Alcatraz right now. And it's like, soon.
Just practicing.
Just waiting. It's like ramming all the boats looking for you. Make sure you do not get on a glass bottom boat.
Yeah.
They're just staring
Yeah,
up
it's
at
just
me.
looking. You get this giant eyeball comes up. Blink.
Johnny Bravo, is that you? That's what I named that fish.
Oh.